Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, Dr. Haider Shah. On behalf of Kalwas, I would like to welcome all of you to this webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we have another very interesting topic, and I'm really honored to welcome and introduce our distinguished guest speaker who is going to talk about role of technology platform in writing scholarly research outputs. As a beginner researcher, you would know that what the role being played by the technology and how can it help you and connect you with the rest of the researcher and the different databases, and how can you use technology in a better way. So you will get all these things and the best insights information regarding all these things, because we have an expert with us in today's session. So stay tuned, because an amazing stuff are coming ahead in this session. So before we start, I would like to thank Carlos once again for arranging such enlightenment sessions, for their support and providing us such a wonderful platform. The aim of Carvas is to give you the opportunity to connect and interact with world renowned speakers, academic leaders, teachers, authors, researchers, experts, professionals, and businessmen, to learn from their experiences, recommendations, suggestions, and tips which will create an impact and will enable you to learn and develop yourself in order to grow and transform individually, as well as to contribute to the world in a positive way. As our slogan is come, learn, and share knowledge. So today we have an amazing person as guest. We have invited him for multiple times, and he is kind enough that he always uh, 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 take our request and always make sure that he is available for us to share his wonderful knowledge with our audience. So let me introduce him formally for the people who are joining for the first time. Is the graduate of Doctor in Public Administration from Ordanita City University class of 2016, and a graduate of second doctorate degree PhD in Development Education at the Central Luzon State University, Philippines, class of 2022. After obtaining his doctorate degree, he was promoted and designated to the position of Assistant Director, Extension Coordinator, and Associate Professor 5 of the Department of Research and Development and Extension in the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy. And this gave him an opportunity to work with different international research institutions, such as the Director for Excel Research Institute Malaysia, lecturer in the Graduate School Columbian College City, and President Raman Magsaya State University, Zimbles. Along with that, he was also appointed as the editor in chief of the International Journal of Multidisciplinary Applied Business and Education Research, Indonesia. Along with that, as a researcher by heart, he is an external peer reviewer in various international research journals and has been invited as a keynote resource speaker at various international conferences abroad, as well as in the international university around the globe. He was named as an outstanding alumnus of the Graduate School of Ordanita City University 2019 and multi-awarded international researcher and global leader for 2022 to the present. Recently, he was appointed as the ambassador at large, country ambassador, and the director for the International Human Rights Movements Philippines under the umbrella of the United Nations. Last but not the least, he's a wonderful speaker, author, teacher, researcher, professional, and above everything, a great human being. So please help me in welcoming our guest, Professor FROILAN MOBO. Welcome to the Carlos platform once again, Prof, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for again for inviting me again for this wonderful session with you, Dr. Haider. So it's been a great opportunity for me to share my knowledge, especially in the research, development, and publication. So thank you for that wonderful introductions, Dr. Haider.
Thank you very much. And I would like to appreciate, we are really thankful for your precious time and generosity, that you are always ready and you are always kind enough that you accept our invitation and share your knowledge with our audience from around the globe. You are doing a wonderful job, and we know that you are not only researcher, but you are a businessman. You are looking after the different wonderful construction work. So that's why you have blend of the experiences, and your experiences are very important for our researchers to know the different things as well. So over to you, Prof. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Doc. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen around the globe. So I'm Dr. FROILAN MOBO, so from the Philippine Merchant Marine Academy, also from the FSHPH publication. So my task for tonight for this session is about to discuss the role of technology platforms in writing scholarly research output. So nowadays, it's very important, of course, uh, to know, of course, the different technology platforms that we usually use when we do research publications, especially that nowadays we evolve using smart devices, other technology platforms that can easily, of course, improve the student learning and of course especially in the other write-ups. So because of the current availability and political desire to attempt new ways, there is a lot of interest in spending educational technology. That's why the role of technology platforms in writing research plays a major role because there are some frameworks that we can also use for this one. So the research, of course, draw an existing cognitive, educational, and social research. Much of the existing research is appropriate. So part of this is when we use this platform in writing research. For example, we are all know that we are majority of us are familiar with Google Scholar, Turnitin. So those major platforms plays a vital role in our society, especially in the community of research. So through the aid of the technology, we can easily uh, write scholarly articles that can use for a particular, of course, with a high standard and with a high quality of publications, just like what we are doing in the FSPH or in the Future Science House publications. So we majority of us are using these technology platforms to determine, of course, the reputability and scholarly outputs of all the authors and researchers. So these things, of course, these ones, there are some guidelines that we need to do to conduct research, and those interested in acquiring technology are also provided. So, guys, it's very important for us if we are in the part of in a we advocate more on the technology. So it is a must for us to learn those web-based application or other technology platforms that would be able to help us, of course, in doing research, doing innovations, or conducting research. Because nowadays, because of the evolution of the industry 4.0 in industrialization in IoT, those things really helps us to manage, of course, our right. As for example, in the field of artificial intelligence, those platform also plays a major role in the field of research. So just like what this diagram I'm showing to you right now is, of course, when we do research, of course, there are some guidelines in the journal that we should follow. Before, we used to do manual process, but right now, because there are some several platform or software that can be downloaded and be installed in a web-based application. So we can use, for example, an OGA system or other platforms that can easily be used for submission of applications for articles or publishing part. So from there, you can easily uh, do formatting, of course, reformatting, submit it to the publisher and other applications, third-party software that can be used because other technology platforms right now, for example, if you're going to use Google Drive as part of the technology platform, you can easily upload text document or Word document if the paper is uses those kind of technology. So this is the diagram. What I'm trying to say is that all of these activities that we are doing in research, of course, it has a relationship. For example, from references, applications on word processing, of course, and how to format the research, the article. So those things are already been embedded or uploaded in a particular journal system. So on my part, for example, as an editor-in-chief and managing my own business in terms of publications, not only in journals but also in book, Right now, what we are doing is we use the method of an ebook, electronic book, so it plays a major role because part of it, it's easy for us publisher to use technology platforms, a web-based application that we can publish scholarly outputs based on the standard which is being set by other regulating bodies, for example, the COPE, and of course, those regulatory bodies that govern, of course, the book publication, just like what we are doing in the Philippines. We issue ISBN coming from the National Library of the Philippines, and then it has a regulating body, which is the National Development Book Board. So, which means that using this all these activities using these technology platforms plays a big role. Of course, uh, it's for us. It's really easy for us to write an article or to come up for a book proposal. It's easy for us to submit it because of these technology platforms. Of course, by checking the grammar outputs based on, for example, if you're going to use Grammarly, you can easily use it. Okay, in terms of connecting phrases in other ways. So those technology platforms plays a major role not only on my side, of course, not only on the side of the publisher, but also on the side of the author. So it's very easy because even in other publishing company right now, for example, in Elsevier and in Springer, they use this technology platforms or web-based applications, which wherein you can submit articles, you can publish, you can check the status of your paper. They can notify you if the paper has been accepted or being declined or rejected. So based on the notification online. Other systems, when we use journal systems, sometimes it can also notify you through SMS or through email. So those are highly leveraged platforms which can be used in the industry of research and publication because guys, after COVID-19 pandemic or during this time pandemic, we uh, appreciate this uses using uh, technology platforms in terms of not only in the publication industry but in terms of business processes because you can easily manage it. Okay. Then another, it is critical to have adequate methodology and tools to perform research because it will require a lot of research tool to assist you with your written language. For example, in our part, in future science, when we post a particular announcement, call for poster, call for book chapter, we see to it that the poster will be uploaded in the social media, and that part that approaches it uses a technology a marketing technology wherein it can easily be cascaded around the globe, not only in the Philippines but around the globe. So which means that the technology platforms nowadays plays a major role because if, for example, if you're going to if you're in need of a good statistical research or quantitative outputs or numeric, these are the technology which can easily help you. So along of that, uh, you must also keep track of what others in research fields are doing. Okay, sometimes there are applications which is being stopped to use before, but right now because of the trends and evolutions, they are trying to compete with one another and trying to look for particular technology platforms that will be able to help, of course, our research scholar. And of course, for example, when we use Grammarly, it really it is easy for us because you can ensure that all your writing is accurate in terms of spelling, punctuation, and Grammarly, as well as being captivating and understandable. So, which means that using, for example, a grammar checker or plagiarism checker using this kind of platform can easily give you a particular good scholarly outputs or writings based on this grammar checking. So as I know, on my part as a publisher, we usually use Grammarly and Turnitin in terms of checking the similarity indexes. So part of that, it usually sometimes they replace them with more. effective ones and improve the clarity of writing so that it can convey, of course, uh, my true intentions and with my family intentions. So it's very important to check everything. Of course, concerning grammar, spelling, uses, wordiness, this can be eradicated when already we already use this technology for technology platforms based on the requirement on what you have said. Of course, part of it, if we already have those applications online, we will also have an SPSS wherein it offers a fast visual modeling environment wherein from there you would be able to check, of course, the length, the width of all the sides of particular appliances. So from there, using this technology platforms can easily be understand uh, by those particular authors. Okay, so for example, if SPSS offers a fast virtual modeling environment that range from the smallest to the most complex model, so it's up to the system. And then, of course, the core functionalities offered in SPSSR, of course, is a statistical program for quantitative data analysis, which includes, of course, the frequency, the cross tabulation, and uh, other system. So, part of it, text analysis helps you to derive insights from qualitative inputs through open-ended questions. So, it's a matter of how you will be able to deliver it based on the following situations that we need to solve it. So another, of course, is that we also, I know that some of you are familiar with Google Scholar. So of course, Google Scholar provides a simple way to broadly search for particular scholarly literature. And from there, Google Scholar also can notify you if you have a new citations. Okay? So it's very important that search across a wide variety of disciplines and sources. Articles can sometimes be used for a particular reasons, and part of it can be also tracked down your citation based on this technology platform, and it will be able to give insights and feedback. Okay, because if we're not going to use these technology platforms, it's really difficult to look, to check. So we need to go to an old library just to dig up all those files. But if we have this platform, the Google Scholar, it can definitely help us to manage everything. Okay? So features of Google Scholar, of course, it can search all scholarly literature from one convenient place. Okay, that's one thing. So it can easily produce for those particular graphs and these things, of course, if we can keep up with the research, recent developments in any area of research. For example, in terms of publication, in terms of other tasks that they need to solve it. So it's very important, of course, that they will have an assistant. Okay, so Google Scholar aims to rank documents the way the researchers do. They can rank it from highest to lowest process until they have reached the particular side or corner. So, and part of it that if we are going to use Google Scholar for your research, definitely it can fix things. Another, of course, Turnitin, of course, the world of artificial intelligence can be a positive force so that we will be able to be more responsible in terms of doing this activity. So they also believe that equitable access to AI, of course, it's really difficult. But if you're going to appreciate things, which is how to develop technology and support them and enhance them, it's really very crucial on our part. Okay, so and another part of it is that uh, okay, So it's very important to always to check. Okay, so documents are being ranked, and we can also check the similarity. Okay, and part of it, once it has been uh, audited or been checked by those third party, so it means that it's really easy for us to know that we are uh, following the standard in terms of research and publication, which is being set, of course, by some of the officers here in uh, our subdivision. So part of it, when we use these technology platforms, it plays a major role. So it is important that we adopt applications that will be easily learned by a particular uh, author. So part of it, so we always have to double check everything. Okay? So especially if we're going to check the number of citations and number of publication, we can easily track it down based on the background which is being included here. Okay? So those persons plays a major role in our society. So I think uh, that will be all on my part. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and we can have some interactive reactions. And part of it we can set, okay, a particular guideline. So with that, Dr. Haider, thank you for inviting me once again. I hope that I will have shared my expertise in terms of research publication.
Thank you very much, Prof. Froilan. Really, it's always pleasure to listen to your wonderful insights and your wonderful recommendation to our upcoming researcher that what things needs to be considered and what are the particular role of different things and how it is going to impact on their scholarly work. Thank you very much for wonderful presentation and powerful content. And yes, of course, we have a few questions for you, which needs your illustration. And the first question is, Prof, they want to ask that thank you for your presentation, and please, would you like to explain the role of social media on the scholarly work? How can we use the social media in order to work in a better way, that is research? Yes, please.
In terms of social media, on my part, I'm also using social media in terms of encouraging them to publish in your journal. It is really, on my part, my own perception that it really plays a big role on that part because social media can find things which can easily be possible for that particular project. For example, you can share a call for paper or call for book chapter using a particular part of the construction, so it can easily be used and can easily be detected. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for this wonderful answer. And now the second question is very much important. Again, it is based on the social media. That Prof, would you like to share with us that the how can we rely on the social media content, and please share that should we be using it for the collaboration with different researcher based on social media? Yes, please.
I think it's a good thing that when we use social media, we can easily market our own product in other places, and of course, including the international community. By that, we can exchange possible projects that will be able to be more beneficial to the authors, of course. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Really, we can take advantage of this wonderful social media platform in order to collaborate, and definitely that would give us the opportunity to work with the different scholars, professors around the globe. Thank you. And now another very interesting question, and I think that's pertinent to ask from you as well. That Prof, thank you for your good presentation, and you also talked about the Google Scholar and Turnitin software in your presentation. Would you like to tell us about the potential challenges or the limitations associated with relying on technology platforms? Yes, please.
In terms of using technology platforms, on that part, it depends on how you will be able to use it and for what purpose. So, but on my part, this banner can easily help you. Okay, just the word there is you have to make it to the point that it's easy. Okay, it's easy for us to use this platform that can easily give us an idea on how to fix this or how to reconnect this. So I think that would be all on my side, Doc.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. I'm really enjoying the way you are giving the answer. And one last question, which is very important, and they want to ask that, Prof. Nowadays there is a era of the artificial intelligence. So, how much percentage do you recommend while writing a research work? How much we use the artificial intelligence? And nowadays there is a option in the Turnitin software that it can detect the artificial intelligence writing as well. So, what is the acceptable range of involving artificial intelligence in writing the research article or thesis? Yes, please.
Usually it's between 20% to 30%. It depends on how you will be able to cite it properly, how you will be able to check, of course, their research output. So I think that would be all, sir, on my part.
Yeah. Thank you, Prof. And I think there is a fair involvement of the AI, but the important thing we need to understand that AI is there to facilitate us. It is not there to write for us. So we can take help in order to refine our work, but the originality and the content should be from our side as a researcher, and we should be using the AI to just facilitate us in the research process. But the main thing come from the different authors and the researcher particularly. I think that would be the fair use of the artificial intelligence. And these tools and technologies are there to make our work in a much better way, not just to have the depending upon all on the artificial intelligence and other tools, but we should be using it to just facilitate and polish our work further. Thank you once again, Prof, for your wonderful Q&A session with us. And as you know, at the end of the session, we ask regarding the your message to the world. So once again, this time, what kind of message you have to the world as a speaker, author, teacher, researcher, trainer, learner, professional, and educator? Yes, please.
My technique there is my word is always the word patient with a good quality. Okay, so you have to consider that. Okay, and it's very important to do it scholarly. So
Wow,
that would be all my
wonderful.
Doc.
Yeah, very nice, wonderful message that you have to have a patience for that purpose. And I believe that this is the wonderful quality. And during our PhD and research work, it teaches us a lot that how can you have patience while listening to the different critics, while listening to the different suggestion and comments on your work, and then you try to refine your work by incorporating all those changes and suggestions. What most important is while listening to the other, particularly in a constructive way, will refine our world. So we should be thinking in that positive way that the comments and the reviewers are there just to refine our work. And I think this is how we contribute that by giving wonderful suggestion to the students and the authors, they refine, and then we want the better work to be published. So thank you very much. Wonderful message you have given to the world and to the audience that please do follow our distinguished guest speaker through his research work, and you can email him for learning and guidance. He is very generous and always ready to help the people. Moreover, wonderful explanation and powerful content which the great speaker has already elaborated will help you to learn and develop your understanding regarding how to use technology in a better way to facilitate you in your scholarly work. That's all we have time for today, and thank you once again, Professor Dr. FROILAN MOBO. And I would like to thank our audience who join us. If you have any additional question about information shared today, please email us or connect to the speaker directly to his email or social media account. Thank you all for your support and liking our session. Stay tuned as many sessions are on the way. Please do not miss any session until next session. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.